some of the things Ben Stokes is doing as a captain in this test match, declaration aside, that's controversial, but field placements, bowling changes, they've been exciting to watch. I mean, anyone who's been seeing it, in comes Steve Smith. There's a wonderful article written by our friend Sriram Veera for the Indian Express, where he's talking about whether it's not just Baz ball, but Baz bait, in the way that they're trying to bait the Australian batters. And there are some brilliant examples there. One I'm just sticking out, that where he said that, the moment Steve Smith came in to bat, they got Harry Brook in, because knowing Steve Smith, he would have had plans for every English bowler, but he definitely wouldn't have planned for Harry Brook. So, the idea is that somebody is going to come and disrupt his plans, because he's just, he's just such a cricket nerd, and he studies every bowler that he's going to come up against. So it's interesting in the way he's gone about the captaincy itself. And that he's been constantly innovating. We're also going to talk about Brumbrella, but that's something that he needs to be applauded for, where he's not letting the game drift away.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt about that. In fact, I like the fact that they declared when they did, because that caught the opposition off guard. And I think it caught a lot of cricket followers off guard, because you don't expect a declaration on the first day. And you certainly don't declare when you have what 393 is not such a big total. You don't declare at that stage. But maybe if you had got 1 or 2 wickets, then everything would have gone their way. They didn't get those wickets. But it was a good, bold declaration, and definitely maybe you would have got another 20, 30 runs next day perhaps. But he was willing to risk that, throw it away for a wicket or two early. So I think there are aggressive streaks. A lot of the field placing is actually in your face, meant to irritate the batsman, get into his mind, and make him play strokes that he wouldn't like to play. And that too, I like that, because then again, it's questioning the batsman's temperament, his capability, and like you said, is he prepared for Harry Brook? It doesn't matter. At the most, Harry Brook can be hit for what, 36 runs in 1 over. You're willing to risk that third 36 runs if you can get a wicket of Steve Smith. So that's fine. That's a throw. It's a gamble which is loaded in your favor. It's not loaded in favor of the opposition. It's a gamble loaded in your favor. It's just 1 over, and a test match can't change in that one single Harry Brooks over. But on the other hand, if you're able to get a wicket like Steve Smith, then that would have done its part. So I think the constant changes that he's bringing is ensuring the batsman is not settled down. And he's also ensuring that the batsman sees a different field all the time. So it's not a comfortable, even if he has worked out in the previous over that he's going to squeeze one past point or third man or whatever. Suddenly he finds that there are fielders elsewhere. And for me, the worrisome part is the pitch. The pitch itself is worrisome. If this is the kind of pitch we're going to get for the rest of the series, I think it will be a very poor series. It will just be on these kind of strategies and tactics. There's only so much that you can do with these.
True. Hopefully we don't get to see that, and we'll see some more juice in the pitches in the next few matches that we'll see. But what we've been talking about, the field placement, and if you've been wondering now this is this one term that's been doing the rounds that everybody's talking about, is Brumbrella. So if you're wondering what that is, well, in the 113th over on day 3, you can see the picture of that. That is Brumbrella, just around the batter. This is on day 3 of the Edgbaston test. Ben Stokes, he'd had enough. He tried everything to dismiss Usman Khawaja, who just wasn't biting the bait. He was batting at 141 not out at the time. He's looked good and looked like he'd bat all through the day. Stokes has set up an onside catching field a little while earlier. And then what he did was he decided to match it on the offside as well. So in a strange field arrangement that you saw the visual of, there were 6 catchers in front of Khawaja, almost like an inverted umbrella. Khawaja tried to go over the fielders and was yorked out by Ollie Robinson. So Brumbrella is a term used to signify a large pitch cover to protect the ground. And the 6 fielders were placed like an umbrella around the pitch, hence Brumbrella. Jamie, I mean, some people may say outlandish, but again, it makes for the theatre that people have been talking about. And at the end, it may not be because of those fielders around him, but Khawaja did lose his wicket. So, you know what, you try and sometimes you succeed. It doesn't matter how you go around succeeding.
Well, I think it's the second part of your statement there, right? It got the wicket of a batsman who'd frustrated you for 5 sessions. Job done, right? Again, these terms which the British media to come up with, that's fine. Like I said, they're very, very jingoistic, and they like to believe that they're the ones who are going to save this great game. But look, it's a tactic it's a very left field, it's a very unorthodox tactic. But when it gets the partnership, you have to say it worked, because the day before, Meha, when England were really struggling to get wickets, and you thought, hey, maybe Australia might even go into the lead. Ben Stokes tried a lot of things, right? I mean, he probably did 3, 4, at least maybe 2 sessions of T20 captaincy to try and choke the batsman, to try and bring wickets. And it was not a super day for England. But the very next day, Sunday, day 3, when he does things like that and it gets Usman Khawaja's wicket, bottom line is everyone will say, look, it did produce a very good ball. Could Khawaja have played it better on 140 odd? Absolutely. Yeah. But just look at that. I mean, I have not seen anything so surreal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, you've seen 2, 3 here and there, but to have 6 people in the form of an umbrella, that's quite radical, and it worked out. So I think that's all that really matters from an England perspective.
Yeah, Ricky Ponting said that he'd not seen something like that ever in his career. So it has to be outlandish enough with him. But you know what? If it works, why not?
Yeah, sure. And I think what we're really missing is the third man was left open. There was no third man there. He had 6 people in the front, but the third man was left open. I think there was a short third man who was more squarer towards point rather than third man. And that's where Khawaja tried to squeeze the ball. He thought he'll try to squeeze the ball to third man and get a boundary, missed it, and he was bowled. Yeah, there it shows. You just have one short point, like it's not even a third man. And I think Khawaja fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Let's give the devil its due, really. But I think also he's batted for so long and so well. I think he would have thought he can do anything with the bat at that stage. Maybe play it fine, play it square, play it whatever you wanted to. It's just that like they say in cricket, it's a question of one ball, and that one ball got him. Yeah, but like I said earlier, that these kind of fields are actually deliberately made to irritate you, get on your mind, irritate you, make you do something which you normally wouldn't, which is what Khawaja normally wouldn't have tried to play that late cut or whatever he tried, trying to steer it to third man. He normally wouldn't have done that. He would have rather played straight down the line, and it fetched the wicket. And I think as we go along, we'll see a lot of the strategies. But like I said earlier, there are only so many strategies that you can employ, and we'll see how many they run out within the next test or two.
But you do have to give credit to the way Ben Stokes was trying everything. You've got to admire him for just not letting Khawaja just bat on. Just wanted to try everything, and he did, and it worked.